Hey crochet lovers, welcome to ABC All About Crochet. In today's tutorial we will going to learn this drawstring brag. Alright, for this project I am taking this leather base. So this is the back side and this is the front side, and I am taking 4-ply cotton yarn, 100% cotton from Cotton brand, which is of light green color, and this is a white color. So we'll be making this white colors of the same brand. So we'll be starting with the white color for the base. Now what I'm going to do, if you want you can make a slip knot first, and we will keep it down here, and we will start from anywhere, any of the holes on this, and pull up the yarn. This I'll make one chain stitch and one single crochet inside the same hole, like this. Now in the next one I'll make 2 single crochets, and likewise in each of the hole all the way round I'll make 2 single crochets in each of the hole on this leather waist, like this. So I'll complete this round and I'll see you till I complete the last hole, and we'll complete this together. Alright, so let's do this last hole together. I'm going to insert my hook, pulling up the yarn, pulling through both the 2 loops, and my 1 single crochet is completed, and I'll make one more, the last one of the first row, in the similar way, and here it is. So I've covered all the holes here on the leather base, and now I'm going to do a slip stitch in the very first stitch here, very first single crochet which we have started, like this. Now what we have to do is we have to make one chain up, and we'll make one single crochet in each of the chains around, each of the stitch around, one single crochet. Okay, I'll complete about 5 or 6 rounds of one single crochet, and I'll see you after that. Okay, so here I have almost completed my round, and now I am finishing this round with a slip stitch on the very first stitch, single crochet, and I have done 6 rounds. Now from here on I'll change the pattern. I'll make 3 chains up, 1, 2 and 3, and these 3 chains would count as one double crochet. In the same stitch I will going to make 2 more double crochets, that is 2 and one more, this is 3. So I have made 3 double crochets. Now I'll skip 2 stitches, and I'll make, in the next stitch I'll make 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3. Again I'll skip 2 and I'll make 3 double crochets, 2 and 3. So this is what the pattern is, and I'll complete this round and I'll see you at the end of the round to show you what we have to do next. So every time what you have to do is you have to skip 2 stitches, and in the third stitch you have to make 3 double crochets, skip 2 stitches and make 3 double crochets in the next stitch. Likewise we have to complete the round. So I'll see you once I complete this round, and we'll work together then. Okay, so let's complete this round together. I'm going to make a slip stitch on the very first single crochet which we make at the start of the round. Okay, from here on, let's start with our pattern. Now in the same stitch, I'll make 3 chains up, which will count as 1 double crochet, and then I'll make 4 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there are 5 double crochets here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a puff stitch by inserting my hook in the third chain which we have made at the start and pulling the first loop through the last one, and this is how I'll complete my puff stitch. I'll make 1 chain up, then skipping 2 stitches from the previous round. In the third stitch again I'll make a puff stitch. For that I'll make 5 double crochet first. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, inserting the hook into the first double crochet and pulling the last loop from the first one like this. So our puff stitch is getting ready. 1 chain up. Again, skipping 2 stitches in the third one, I'll make puff stitch by making 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, I am pulling the first yarn from the last loop, making 1 chain up. So likewise, we have to complete this round, and I'll see you at the end of this round to tell you what we have to do next. Okay, so I have completed my last puff stitch, as you can see here, and now after making 1 chain, I'm going to do a slip stitch on the top of this very first puff stitch which we have made, or the chain 1 which we have made here. I'm going to do a slip stitch here to close the round, to finish the round. Now what I'll do is in the next round I'll start making puff stitch in the gaps between 2 puff stitch, though we have not made any chain in between, but we will make our puff stitch in the gap between 2 puff stitches. Now here I want to give you one tip, that in the first round of our pattern, between 2 puff stitches, if your puff stitch is getting stretched, so instead of taking 2 chain gap, you can take 1 chain gap here. It depends upon the yarn and the type of hook you're using, but as I have checked by making this, it was getting stretched, so instead of skipping 2 stitches out here, I was skipping only 1 stitch, and that is how it came. The puffs came quite nearby. So as I told you, I'm gonna do I have done a slip stitch here on the first puff stitch, and now one more slip stitch in between these 2 puffs to start our round. Okay, so 3 chain up, which will count as 1 double crochet, and for the puff I'll make 4 more double crochets. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And as usual, I'll insert my hook in the third chain from the start and pulling the loop from the last loop to complete the puff, and making 1 stitch up to lock this puff like this. Likewise, I'm going to make puffs in between the puffs from the previous round, in the gaps between 2 puffs, and I'll complete this round, and I'll make 1 more round after this, and I'll see you after that to show you what we have to do next. Alright, so here I am making my last chain and completing this round with a slip stitch on the very first stitch here, which we have made very first chain of the first puff. We have started with this row like this. Now for the next row, what we have to do is I can cut my yarn here by making one chain stitch and like this, or if you want you can directly join another color yarn and later you can cut this yarn. So to join another color yarn, I'll not complete my slip stitch here. I'll grab my another color yarn here and I will join it here. There's no need to make a slip knot first. Directly you can insert your yarn in the two loops, and behind this what you can do is you can revert this tail here like this, and automatically your thread will get locked this way and this. All right, now similarly we will start making puff stitches here. But what we will do is, as per our design, we will first make first puff 1, 2 and 3, and again 4 double crochets, 1, 2, 3 and 4. The first 3 chains would count as 1 double crochet, and like we always make puff, we will make 1 puff here. Oops, I'm sorry. I think I have to open it again. One, 2, 3 and 4. Total 5. Okay, here our puff is completed. Now what we will do is, in the next one we will make a white color puff. So I'll not cut my yarn, I'll grab my yarn by not completing this chain stitch here. I'll grab this color yarn here, white color yarn, and I'll make 1 puff stitch in the next one. So basically in this round we have to keep making 1 white and 1 green puff stitch here. Three, 4 and 5. Okay, so again I'll grab my green color yarn and I'll make a puff stitch in the next one. So likewise you have to keep repeating 1 green, 1 white, 1 green, 1 white all over this round. I'll see you at the end of the round and we'll complete this round together to show you what we have to do next. Okay, so as you can see we have completed this row here, and in the next row only we have to do it with the green color, only with the green color. Okay, so next row of puff stitch will be of green color. I'll complete this row and I'll see you after this row. Alright, so here I've completed my second row with the different color, and now I'm going to start the third row of the pattern. which is again we will repeat the same first row, which is one white and one green puff stitch. So here I will insert my hook, I'll drop this yarn, other color yarn, I'll grab my white color yarn and I'll start working with white color puff. Similar way, 3 chain stitch, which will count as 1 double crochet, and 4 more double crochets here for the puff stitch. One, two, three, 4. We have total of 5. Inserting my hook in the last one and grabbing or pulling the loop from the last one, making 1 stitch up like this. Again, I'll change my yarn like this and putting this yarn behind and pulling it a bit tighter so that it will give a good finish. One, two, three, 4 and 5. Inserting the hook in the corner one and pulling it from behind, making 1 stitch up. So basically our design will look like this: 1 puff down, 2 on the sides and 1 up like this. And so we have to repeat here the first row of our pattern, which is 1 green, 1 white, 1 green, 1 white. After completing these 3, I will make only white color 2 rows and then I'll repeat these 3 rows again. So alternatively, I'll keep doing this. Now I'll be completing 3rd row. After this, I'll be making 2 rows of white puff stitch. Then again 3 rows of green and white, green and green and white. And then again 2 rows of white puff stitch. Likewise, I'll increase the size, I'll increase the length of my handbag, and I'm not sure how many rows I'm going to do, but I'll try to make it 4 or 5 pattern rows and I'll see you then. You also work along with me and you can keep the height of your bag as per your requirement, and I'll see you after that. Okay, so as you can see, we have completed this row here, and in the next row only we have to do it with the green color, only with the green color. Okay, so next row of puff stitch will be of green color. I'll complete this row and I'll see you after this row. Okay, so here I have completed my desired length of my bag, and so far I have done 3 rows of white color pattern and 3 rows of green color pattern, and I think this bag length is enough for me. You can make it even broader or longer as per your requirement. And this is the last row of white color, which I am almost done here. I'm going to make a slip stitch and finish this row, and after this I'll grab another color yarn and I'll make few rows of single crochet just to give it a finishing look. So I'll grab this yarn and I'll make here in each of the stitches here. I'll make a single crochet, chain 1 up to start the row and single crochet in each of the stitches. You do not have to make 2 single crochets anywhere, or you do not have to skip any of the stitches here. You just have to make single crochet in each of the stitches around. So likewise I'll keep making, and I'll make about 5 rows of single crochets with the opposite color yarn. you also work along with me and let's complete this bag together. I'll complete rows and I'll see you after completing the rows. Single crochets, 5 or 6 rows of single crochets, and I'll see you then. Okay, so here I've completed 5 rows of single crochet and I am finishing this row with the slip stitch on the very first single crochet we have made at the start of the row. After this we will make one more row, but this time we will make gaps for the drawstring. So I'll make 3 chains up, 1, 2 and 3, which will count as 1 double crochet, and 1 double crochet in the very next chain stitch here. This is the first and this is here. Then chain 1, then skipping the next stitch, in the next stitch I'll make 1 double crochet, in the next stitch 1 more double crochet, then chain 1. Again skipping the next stitch, in the next stitch, skipping 1 stitch, in the next stitch I'll make 1 double crochet, and very next to it I'll make 1 more double crochet, chain 1. So likewise I'll keep continuing, and this would be the gap for the drawstring. So I'll finish this row, and after this row I'll make 1 row of single crochet with 1 chain up, and in each of the stitch I'll make 1 single crochet. 1 single crochet in this gap of chain 1, 1 single crochet on this double crochet from the previous row, 1 single crochet on the previous row double crochet, and likewise I'll make 1 single crochet on each of the stitches after this row. So I'll complete these 2 rows and I'll see you then to show you what we have to do next. Okay, so here after making the loops for the drawstring, I have made a drawstring with 200 chains, and I've also made these 3 petal flowers towards both of the end of the drawstring. So this is how so far my bag looks like with the leather base. And now the final part of our project is to make the quad, the long handle, or if you want to insert a U-shape handle, I have the video for that. You can visit my channel and you can learn how to make the cord for that. And now I'm going to show you the other cord. If you want a long cord to take this as a sling bag, you can make a long, or if you want a short one to carry it as a handbag, you can do that as well. So let's start with the cord part. For that I have taken this opposite color yarn here, and I am making a small, the breadth of it will be very small. So I'll start with chain of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now I'll insert my hook in the second chain, pull up the yarn, in the third chain, pull up the yarn, fourth chain, pull up the yarn, fifth, pull up the yarn, sixth, pull up the yarn, and seventh I'll pull up the yarn. Now I'm having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 loops on my hook. Now I'll grab the yarn only through the first loop to make a chain stitch at the start here. Now I'll grab the yarn and pull through the next 2, grab the yarn, pull through the next 2 loops, grab the yarn, pull through the next 2 loops, grab the yarn, pull through the next 2 loops, grab the yarn, pull through the next 2 loops, and grab the yarn, pull through the next 2 loops, like this. Now we'll insert our hook in the second loop here. We will not make any chain 1 up or a turning chain. We do not have to turn our work. We have to work only in one direction. So I'll insert my hook very first here. I'll pull up the yarn. In the second, pull up the yarn. In the third, pull up the yarn. In the fourth, pull up the yarn. Fifth, pull up the yarn, and sixth one, pull up the yarn. Similarly, I'll grab the yarn and pull through only through the first one to make a chain stitch. Then I'll grab the yarn, pull through the next 2, grab the yarn, pull through the next two, 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 and grab the yarn, pull through the last two. This way. Again, starting from the second loop, not any chain one up, I'll start and pulling up the yarn like this. 2. Each time the count should be similar, which is 6 in case of 7 chains as the base chain. You can start with as many chain as you want or as broad you want your cord to be. So I'll complete this and I'll see you after that. Okay, so here finally my cord is completed, and I've made 2 ways this big with 50 centimeters long, and I've added these jump rings over here, which I'm gonna attach it to my bag here on both the sides. This is quite fluffy because I've inserted few stuff here to give it a final look. I'll show you after attaching these rings over here. Alright, so the final look of my drawstring bag is like this. I hope you like my tutorials, so please go ahead and try to make one, and do let me know in the comment how you like it. I'll see you in the next video with a very new concept. Till then, please keep liking, sharing, subscribing my channel. Happy crocheting! Thank you.